From the Sleepy Time studios across the World Wide Web, it's time to place your bets as we play Dealer's Choice. And now, please welcome our dealer, your host of Dealer's Choice, Jose Cazares. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Dealer's Choice here on Sleepy Time Studios. Last time we crowned yet another new champion. A certain assassin lived up to his name and took down the previous champion to become the new one. He comes back with a total so far of $24,750 in cash and looking to pick up his second win tonight. Let's welcome back our returning champion, Daeveon Baker.
Hello, Mr. Dealer. How are you today?
Doing good. I know you're doing great, especially after that win that you picked up last time. Any plans with the money?
Well, some of them it's gonna be in some investment at the bank, but mostly there's a lot of stuff I could do. For sure, I could buy some things and other things and some things, but most of that basically in the it's basically in the bank. But
let's not also forget about the ting.
That too, yes.
But in any case, got some great competition in store for you. I think you'll be, I should say, are you ready to try to see if you can pick up your second win?
Well, it's always harder to retain, as you've seen from past episodes, so I'll try my best and put the 110% to it.
All right, well, good luck to you. Let's go ahead and meet the two challengers who are looking to try to stop you. All right, so first up, it's been a couple episodes, but he's back with us once again to try to pick up his first victory of the season. We welcome back Mr. John Bergman.
Thank you, buddy. Glad to be here once again on Dealer's Choice.
Glad to have you back, John. I think the last time you were here was one heck of a battle between or at least the champion at the time, and unfortunately just sadly fell short. Things just didn't go your way in that particular game. You think this is the time that you'll turn it around?
Well, the whole thing about this game is, the strategy involving how much you bet, but a lot of it's just luck. But all I gotta do is just probably trust my instincts more and see what happens.
All right, well, good luck to you as you look to pick up your first win of the season.
No problem.
All right, and last but not least, he's back with us once again. He also has yet to pick up a championship title for himself. We welcome back Adam Oliver.
Hello, it's good to be back.
Adam, similar to John, you haven't had very much luck either on your appearances. Do you think that this is the time where you'll get lucky?
Well, I certainly hope I hope it would happen.
All right, well.
Yeah, it all depends if everything plays on my favor.
All right, well, in any case, only way to find out is by jumping right into our game, so let's go ahead and do that, and good luck to all three of you. So here's how this game works. As you know, each of you will participate in a series of 4 casino-style minigames. And you'll each start out with 100 chips to bet on each of these minigames. At the end of the 4th and final minigame, the player who has the most chips will become our champion and will get to play our bonus dice for a chance to win that bonus dice jackpot, which it has been a hot minute since it's actually been won. And it is now currently at the highest it has ever been at a whopping $40,000. So, with all that being said, the order of the games was randomized before the show began, and in terms of the 4 mini games, that was all determined between the 8 that were remaining out of the possible 12. Because remember, we want to ensure we don't end up with duplicate mini games. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get things started with our first mini game of tonight's episode. We're going to start things off with a little in between. All right, players. So this one's a card game. So for those that don't know how this works, it's very simple. We will be using our card table for this one. I'll be dealing out one card at a time, a maximum of 4. Very simple. As long as the card is not a deuce, king, or ace, whatever the players bet will double. After every card we play, the players will have the option to either cash out their winnings at that point, or they can let it ride for the next card. But if at any point a deuce, king, or ace shows up on one of the cards and they choose to play on, the house will win and they will lose their bet. With this in mind, our max bet for our first minigame here is 10 chips. Daeveon, as the champion, we'll start things off with you. Each of you will go ahead and tell me your bet sizes. So, Daeveon, of your 100 chips up to 10, how much would you like to bet?
Well, it could go either way. So I'll start with max.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Max bet.
Max bet of 10, all right? John, what about you?
What can I say? Love it or leave it, if you know what I mean. Max bet for me, too.
That's all we're going to say about that. But yes, max bet it is for you. And Adam?
Let's go 10 for me too.
Everybody going the maximum bet for this first minigame. All right. Now, let's go ahead and bring out our card table. All right, so just making sure the droid cam works, but we are using this deck that was shuffled before the show began. It's got the OG bicycle design, of course, that I love so much. All right, players, I wish y'all the best of luck. Let's take a look at our first card. All right. So, pulling it out the top of the deck. You gotta be kidding me.
Wow! Off the bat.
And just like that, the house wins. Oh my
What
gosh!
was
Well,
the card?
it's
That
an
was quick.
ace.
It was an ace of
Ace.
cards.
Oh,
Let's see the rest of the
God.
tree.
It's crazy because it's the exact suit that you see on the graphic over there.
How fitting. What
Damn
were
it.
what were the rest of them?
And just for shiggles, we'll go ahead and reveal the other 3 cards that have that one not been there. Would have been a 10, a 4, and a king. Wow, there were 2 losing cards in that one.
Yikes.
That one was a brutal shuffle. I am sorry, everybody. Unfortunately, the house wins and nobody gets anything. So,
Oh well.
well, we're off to a terrible start, and that brings us to the end of In Between. Good lord.
Yeah. Did the spirit of Ebenezer Scrooge controlling this again?
I don't think so.
Well,
No, it was Bob Stewart.
Oh my God.
That too.
well, in any case, that brings us to the end of In Between. Very quick ending. The first card getting sniping everybody, but very simple. Still have a 3-way tie. Daeveon, John, and Adam each have 90 chips. But we're just getting started. We're going to take our first commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to have our second minigame of 4 here on tonight's episode of Dealer's Choice. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Dealer's Choice. Well, we are off to a terrible start, as unfortunately our players lost on the very first card during In Between. But, of course, this episode is just getting started. We still have 3 other mini games where our players can still win some chips. One of which is a casino classic. For our second mini game, we got some blackjack for our players.
Hey.
Yay! There we go. That's fun.
All right, so we're gonna play some blackjack for our second mini game. So you know how this works. Our 3 players will each get assigned a blackjack hand. So I'll deal. We'll do normal. We'll do each of words English can't.
T-shirt coming soon.
The 3 players will. What the hell? The 3 players will each be dealt a standard blackjack hand with the limitations of not being able to split or double down. Very simple. The object of the game is to try to get us to build a hand as close to 21 as possible without going over. Of course, if they bust, they do lose their bet. If they are able to beat the dealer's hand, then they will get an even payout. But if they are able to get blackjack, which is getting a 21 on the first 2 cards of their hand, that'll get a 2-to-1 payout. Of course, for me, being the dealer, I will use my standard blackjack dealer rules, which means I will have to hit on any 16 and stand on any 17. Alright, so with that being said, the max bet on this minigame is 25 chips. Daeveon, we start with you. Of your 90 chips up to 25, how many would you like to bet?
Yeah. Even though I mostly do max bet, but I'll be a little bit cautious. Do 20.
20 chips, alright. John, what about you?
But I'll do the same 20.
20 for John as well. And Adam?
I'll take 25.
Going the max bet. Okay. So Daeveon and John each going with 20, but Adam taking a big risk with that max bet. Alright, let's go ahead and bring back our card table for this one. And we're going to be using the other deck, the New York deck. Anyways. Alright, so let's go ahead and... I have to read the rules here to make sure that we're... Sorry, so the 3 players will each get 1 card up, and then 1 card down to myself. Alright, so first step, this is for Daeveon. So he has a 10 on his first one.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, so we'll go top to bottom. Alright. This one's for John. He has a king. And as for Adam, he has a jack.
Wow, we got 10s.
Whoa, this is looking good.
And I will deal 1 card down to myself right over here.
Alright.
Now I will then deal a 2nd card up to each of y'all. Alright. For Daeveon, he has a 4.
Ooh, okay.
For John, you have a king. And for Adam, you have an 8.
Oh.
And my face-up card, I will put next to the face-down one here, a 3. So I will not have blackjack no matter what. Alright. So, we're going to go down the line one at a time. So, Daeveon, we're going to start with you. You have a 14 against a 3. Do you want to hit or stand?
At this rate, let's see if it busts. I'll stay.
You're going
Sorry,
to
Ooh.
stand.
you're going to stand and hope that I bust.
Yes.
All right, so Daeveon has stood. Now, John, again, you cannot split, but you do have a 20.
Right.
Hit or stand?
I won't stand.
Yeah, I didn't even have to ask. John's going to stand as well. And Adam, you have an 18 against the 3. Hit or stand?
There's very few cards. Very few cards would be a low card, so I'm definitely staying on my 18.
All right, all 3 players standing. All right, so I will go ahead and reveal my card here. All right, so in addition to my 3, I have a 5.
Ooh.
So I have an 8, which means I keep drawing. So we go to the next one at the top of the deck. A 5. So that means I have a 13.
13. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next card up. A 3. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
That's the 16.
I have a 16 now. I have to hit again.
Mm-hmm.
Next card up. A 6, and I busted.
Alright.
Everybody wins. Even payout.
Yay.
Nice.
Ooh, look how score.
Yeah, no, but Adam's in the lead by 5.
Yep, so,
Yeah, it's just two
here's
games.
the hand up close for the folks at home. So 3, 8, 13, 16, 22. 1 over. Black. 1 over 21. So, that brings us to the end of Blackjack. All right, a much better result here on this second minigame of Blackjack as our
Yeah.
three players
Yep.
were able to pick up a very nice payout. And now in terms of score, it's going to change things up quite a bit. Because now Adam has a 5-chip lead at 115, while Daeveon and John are tied for second at 110. But we are only halfway through the episode. We still have 2 more mini games to go. Anything and everything can still happen. We're going to take another commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our third mini game of 4 here on this episode of Dealer's Choice. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Dealer's Choice after a very rough start to the episode with a quick ending on In Between. Our players managed to turn things around with a very successful round of blackjack. So now, as it stands score-wise, Adam has a 5-chip lead at 115 because he bets slightly more than Daeveon and John, who are both tied at 110 apiece for second place. But with 2 mini-games to go, anything and everything can still happen. Let's go ahead and move on to our third mini-game of 4 for this episode. Man, we are just using the card decks tonight because our next mini game up is Any Pair Loses.
Ooh.
Okay.
So we're gonna be bringing out the card table one more time for this one, and here's how Any Pair Loses works. So it's very simple. I will start by dealing out 2 cards. If they don't match, the players will win double their bet size. Then they will have the option to either cash out their winnings or let it ride on the next card. And from that point forward, I will draw one card at a time, up to 3 more. As long as no cards match whatsoever, the players will get double the bet. If at any point during the game, though, a pair does come up, any chips that are left on the table will get claimed by the house, and the game will end. That being said, the max bet for this third round is 50 chips. Daeveon, of your 110 up to 50, how much would you like to bet for this one?
Just looking at the scores, how tight it is, and this game can be a hit or miss. So with that said, a little conservative, 40.
40 chips, all right? John, what about you?
Why not? 50.
Going the max bet for this one, all right? And Adam,
Let's go for 50 for me as well.
both John and Adam going max bet. Daeveon playing a little more conservative. We'll see how this works out. All right, let's go ahead and bring out our card table once again. All right, so we're going to be using the bicycle deck once again that was reshuffled during the commercial break. I just love how sick that design looks. Anyways, so let's go ahead and deal out the first 2 cards. So first up, we have a 4.
Okay.
And next up, we have a 7. All right, so you 2 all get double bet. All right, so now you'll each have a decision to make. You can either cash out your winnings or you can let it ride for the next card. Well, there's 3 cards left to draw in this one. So, Daeveon, you have 80 chips. Cash out or let it ride?
I'll let it ride.
Letting it ride. John, you have 100.
Let it ride.
Playing on. Adam, you also have 100.
Let it ride.
Everybody playing on for the next one. All right. Third card off the top of the deck. An ace. All right. Each of y'all get double bet again. All right. Let me actually keep these separate so I know that just so I don't lose count. So those are the
Yeah.
initial 2. This is the first of 3. 2 cards left in this game. Daeveon, you have 160. Cash out or let it ride?
I'll let it ride.
Letting it ride. John, you have 200.
I've got a wall here up my nose. Let it ride.
Letting it ride. All right, Adam, you also have 200.
I'll let it ride.
Everybody playing on for the next one. All right. Fourth card off the top of the deck. It's a 4. The house wins.
Oh, I had a feeling I should have stayed.
Wow.
Well,
There it is, folks. The pair of
Oh,
4s. And
man.
just for shiggles, that last card would have been a jack.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was brutal.
well,
I'm noticing a pattern. I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a pattern here, and I don't like it. Game 1 was a house win. Game 2 was everybody win sweep, and now here the house wins again. Good.
It makes it interesting for the final round.
This will make it interesting though, because with everybody losing their bets,
I'm still there.
this is now score wise, everybody has a different positioning. But with that brings us to the end of any pair loses. Goodness
Yikes.
gracious. All right, but at the end of our third mini game, we have John now in third at 60, Adam in second with 65, and all of a sudden our champion has the lead at 70. But with one final mini game up, anything and everything can still happen. We'll be right back after this final commercial break to see who becomes our champion here on Dealer's Choice. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to what has been an up and down episode here on Dealer's Choice, where game 1, the house unfortunately won. Then game 2, everybody managed to win. And then game 3, it was back to the house winning. With everybody losing their bets on that third game of any pair loses, the scores now look like this. We have our champion out front now with 70 chips. Adam now in second at 65, and John has third with 60. But with 10 chips separating our 3 players, it's going to make this fourth minigame very interesting, because this is going down to the wire. Now, y'all may be wondering, what is this fourth and final minigame? Well, the randomizer selected it, and boy, we are wrapping this one up with a doozy. For our final minigame this episode, we're not bringing out the card table. Instead, we're going to be bringing out the bingo cage for this one, because we're wrapping it up with some Keno. All right, so here is how Keno works. So for this one, you can see there are 16. Y'all can see that there are 16 numbers up on this Keno grid. The 3 of you are going to pick out 3 of those 16 numbers on the Keno board. You will DM them to me as well as your bet sizes, because for this fourth and final minigame, you're not going to tell me how much you're going to bet. So you're going to DM me not only your 3 Keno numbers, but your bet size right underneath it. So, with that being said, go ahead and send those DMs through Discord.
Our bets or
both.
Both of them.
Both of them. Your
Yeah,
3
numbers
Keno
and
numbers and your bet size.
God,
And
no problem.
I should mention that there is no max bet for this one. You can bet any
Or
or
no
all
limit.
of your chips. I have to add that detail. And while they're sending their Keno numbers and bet sizes, folks, I will tell you at home that the way this works is we will draw 8 Keno balls one at a time, and they're going to be marked up on the board. Once all 8 of the numbers are drawn, I will reveal their selections as well as their bet sizes. If one of the numbers that the players have picked is hit, that'll be an even payout. If 2 of the numbers that they picked are hit, that'll be a 3-to-1 payout. But if all 3 of their Keno numbers are able to be hit, that player will win a 5-1 payout. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring out our bingo cage as well, because we are going to need it for this final minigame. All right, let me just double check Discord, make sure that we've got everything in, and we do. All right. Keno numbers are in as well as their bet sizes. All right, so we are ready to go. Let's go ahead and play some Keno. So, way this works, for those that have forgotten, is we just rotate this cage around a couple times here. And then we flip it around like this. We see a ball up top. Rolls out onto the bingo ball dispenser here. All right. Good luck to you players. Away we go. First number up is 3. All right. We'll put the ball on the side here to make sure it doesn't get selected again. Shuffle them all around once again. All right. Second ball up. We have 9. All right, third one of 8 in this Keno round. Up next we have 1. All right. Nearing the halfway point of Keno. Fourth Keno ball coming up. Next up we have 5. All right, 4 down, 4 to go. Mix them around. Next one's coming down. Next up we have the Dirty Snowman, 8. All right, 3 more to go. All right, our next ball up is 16. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 2 more to go. Oh, that one doesn't count. It has to fall off on the roll around like so here. Nope, that one won't count either. This one will. It is 11. All right, we'll put this one back. And we will rotate it around for the last time. All right, here we go. Our final Keno ball is 13. If this was bingo, somebody would have hit the vertical one, but this is Keno,
I know, right?
unfortunately. All right, so that'll bring us to the end of Keno. Those are the Keno balls that were selected. All right, so we'll go ahead and remove the bingo cage here and reveal not only the Keno ball selections, but the bet sizes. John, we're going to start with you since you are in third.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we're going to start with your bet size.
Right.
You chose to go all in.
All in, yeah.
You chose to go 60 chips. Your Keno balls that you chose were 4, 10, and 12, and I am sorry to say that not a single one of them hit, so the house wins your bet. So you unfortunately finish up with 0. Adam, we come to you next. Of your 65 chips, you chose to bet 45. And your Keno balls, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but 4, 10, and 12 as well.
Damn.
Oh,
As you can probably guess, House wins your bet,
yeah.
since neither one of them were hit. So Adam has second place for now with 20 chips, but it's going to come down to Daeveon here. Came into this round in first place. He chose to bet all of it. And the numbers that he selected were 7, which didn't hit, 12, which didn't hit, and 4, which did not hit, which means with 20 chips, Adam, you are the new champion!
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God. Congratulations, Adam.
Indeed.
Wow,
Oh,
what an
come
ending. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, nobody winning Keno, but Adam playing it safe and not choosing to go all in as I'm trying to put the bingo balls back. One of them falls out accidentally. In any case, though, Adam, you managed to hang on, chose not to go all in, and it ultimately ended up paying off because with 20 chips, you are the brand new champion here on Dealer's Choice. So, we're going to wrap things up here with you, and you're going to be heading to the bonus dice in just a moment. Daeveon and John, this was just not an episode to win on, apparently. Out of the 4 games we did, for you two in particular, 3 of the 4 mini games the house won.
Oof.
I know, but it was rough. But that's what happens.
John and Daeveon, while you both did finish up with 0 chips, we still have a house minimum around here, and it is $500. So that's what the 3 of you are, or that's what the 2 of you are getting, $500 apiece. And Daeveon, when we add that to your winnings, you now go up to $25,250.
Well, actually, with along with my 140, it's actually 25,390.
140.
Yeah, I was in episode 3.
Well, we only count winning totals.
Ah,
Only if you get dethroned do we add the consolation winnings to your total.
makes sense.
But Daeveon and John, you each pick up $500. We thank you both for playing and coming back. Adam asks for you, our new champion, with 20 chips. We're going to take that 20 chips and multiply that by 10, which means that, Adam, you have picked up $2,000 for your first game here as champion. But we're going to give you a few moments to catch your breath and prepare yourself here, because when we come back for this commercial break, our new champion Adam is going to face off against the bonus dice for his first time ever to see if he can take us for that bonus dice jackpot. We'll be right back after this here on Dealer's Choice. Welcome back to what has been, by far on record, the worst episode we have had here on Dealer's Choice. Unfortunately, on 3 of the 4 minigames we had here tonight, the house managed to win. But ultimately, Adam was the overall winner simply because he chose not to go all in, and it ultimately paid off. So, Adam, you've already got $2,000 for yourself, but you've still got an opportunity to win a whole ton of money. Are you ready to see if you can win our jackpot?
I am ready.
Then let's move on to the bonus dice. bring out our dice table for our first and only time this episode. All right, so Adam, here's how the bonus dice works since this is your first time. The object of the game is to build a cash total worth $1,000 or more without rolling that dreaded spade. If you should successfully manage to roll enough cash to pick up $1,000 or more before rolling that spade, you will win our bonus dice jackpot, which for tonight sits at $40,000, the highest it has ever been all season so far. Now you may be wondering, how much money do you pick up with each roll? Well, that depends on what numbers come up on each of these two dice specifically. So, the breakdown is in the Studio One game chat for you, Adam, if you need to take a look at it for reference. But for the folks at home, it's very simple. 1 and a 2 on either one of the two dice will give Adam $50. If he gets a 3 or a 4 on either one of the dice, that'll be $100 added to his total. A 5 on either one of the two dice will give him $150 to add to his total. And a 6 on only the white die will get him $200. However, the 6 on the blue die is what he's going to want to avoid, because that is what we consider the spade. Now, of course, Adam, with each roll that you do survive, you do have the option to stop and walk away with your winnings at any time. Because if you should go for it and roll that spade at any point, you will lose everything except the $2,000 that you won in the upfront game. That being said, though, Adam, I will pick up the dice and shake them around in my hands. They are moving around. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Let's win you that jackpot. You just say roll whenever you're ready.
And roll.
Oh, we start off big. A 6 on the white die for $200 and a 3 on the blue for $100. Right out of the gate, Adam, $300. Big decision here, Adam. Do you want to stop and walk away with your $300, or do you want to go for another roll?
All right. I think 700 for the win, right?
Yep, you need $700.
300. Let's continue.
All right, continuing on. Dice are moving around in my hand. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Good roll. Now.
And we have a little bit of a smaller one, but 2 on the white, 1 on the blue. That's another $100. All right, we're up to $400. Want to stop and walk over with the 400, or do you want to go for another roll?
It is still doable. I would love a white 6, and let's continue.
All right, rolling on. You know what to do.
All right, white 6 with a good blue now.
Oh, look at this. We have a 4 on the white and a 5 on the blue. So the 4 is worth $100. The 5 is worth $150. That is another $250 that we're adding to your total. We're out to $650. So, Adam, you are about $350 away. And I will let you know that it is possible for you to get it on this roll, but you would have to be incredibly lucky. That it. Now, do you want to stop with the $650, or do you want to go on for another roll?
I'm feeling good. I think there's some good rolls. There's some good rolls out there to give me $350. Let's continue.
All right, going for it. All right, just whenever you're ready. Good luck.
All right, come on. Good big numbers. Good big numbers. Now.
Oh, look at this, Adam. Oh, boy. 6 on the white, 3 on the blue. I believe that's another $300.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, Adam, it's going to come down to this. You have $950. As long as you survive the next roll, you're going to win this jackpot. Question is, do you want to go for it, or do you want to walk away with a $950?
Yep, I believe odds are in my favor. I just gotta avoid one one bad number, I'm gonna roll.
All right, it's gonna come down to this. Adam, the dice are shaking around in my hand. Whenever you're ready,
Alright,
let's see if you
alright,
can win it all.
alright, come on. Something good now.
A
Ooh,
5 on each of the dice is 150 for another $300. Adam, you've done it!
We did it.
yes,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Well, congratulations, man.
We have finally given away the bonus dice jackpot. $40,000.
Yeah.
Oh, man, congratulations.
Well done,
Mm.
Adam. $40,000 that we're going to get to add to your total. And this is easy math. We add this to the $2,000 that you picked up in the upfront game. And already you have a one-game total of an even $42,000. And I will say this. You have now surpassed Josh for the top spot on our leaderboard. You are now at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my fellow
$42,000 flat. How are you feeling after all of this?
Well, I feel great that I did it, and I'm like surprised that I was able to pass my fellow San Antonian for this, and I'm feeling really good.
Well, Adam, I will say this. Amidst all the horrible results of the games we had in the upfront game, you managed to wrap up the episode with a bang, winning the bonus dice jackpot, $40,000. We could not have asked for a better ending to this bad episode. Main game proved to be disastrous, but the bonus game absolutely did not. So again, Adam, congratulations. The best part about this is you're just getting started. You're going to be coming back on our next episode to try to defend your title against 2 more players. So we'll hopefully see you then.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, folks, he'll be there. And with that said, that will wrap things up here for tonight's edition of Dealer's Choice. And with Adam picking up that bonus dice jackpot of $40,000, that now means that the jackpot will reset to its base value of $25,000 for the next episode. With that being said, though, thank you so much for watching tonight's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new to Sleepy Time Studios, don't hesitate to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of all the content I've got coming up here. And if you missed any of the previous episodes that led up to tonight, you can always check out the playlist on the channel that is available for you guys to watch and binge on. But for now, until next time when we see Adam back here as he looks to defend his title, and hopefully we have better results in the main mini-games, I'm your host, Jose Cazares. For all of us here at Sleepy Time Studios, this has been Dealer's Choice. We'll see you next time for another episode. Good night, everybody.